So in this episode, we'll now use our Raspberry Pi as a client, and we will have a look at how Raspberry Pi can consume third-party API services, and how using those API services we can build our own applications. Now let us build a full-fledged client, Raspberry Pi client, that will talk to the server, weather stack server, and give us the temperature and humidity update. Okay, so for that we will be again using Thorny Python IDE. Okay, so what I did, I have already written this code because if I write it here it will take some time. So inside my client folder here I have already this written. So let me open it in Thorny Python IDE and explain to you how it works. Okay, so here is the code. Now I have used the main body of the IDE, not interactively. So I'll first so I will do the same things that I did interactively. So import request, then the request dot get. Earlier we were doing google.com, so now we are posting this whole thing. So you can just copy paste from what we did here. So you can just copy paste this URL and copy it and here paste it here. Okay, and in the end, so you can put your city name if that is, but check if that is available with them. So Mumbai is available with them, so I have put city name as Mumbai. Okay, you can put any place name and check if they have the data. So now I have we know we have that JSON data. So and inside the JSON data, so here is the JSON parser. So within current, so we have temperature and humidity. These are the two things that we are interested in. You know the JSON, how to operate JSON. So first it is a nested JSON, so if current, and within current we want temperature and also hum. So we are setting these two variable, temp and hum. So humidity is equal to f current humidity, and we'll print these two data here. So now let us see what happens if we run this. So it is running. It took some time because it went there and asked the server and get the server response, and then from the response API JSON response it took out the value and show me here. Okay, so every time I run it asks the server. So it is like if I refresh, it will ask the server and come back to me with the result. So I can even change the city name here. Say let me just to show it is 26 and 100 in Mumbai. So let us see how is the situation in Delhi now. Okay, so let us see, it's cooler, hotter, what is this in Delhi, and let me so you need not you can save or run or directly run. It will save and then run. So I am running it now. Okay, so Delhi is a little less humidity, just temperature almost same, 26 and 27, not much difference. Okay, so this is how you can use. And so this is this can be used as a client. Now what you can do, you have the data with you. So what you can do, you now build some application, or you can build your own HTML page and show the data to the user. Okay, so now we will use our Raspberry Pi as a server. So the rest of the world will ask our Raspberry Pi about the temperature and humidity of a location, and we will supply them with the information either in text format or in HTML format. Okay, so that can be achieved in two ways. So either you install your own DHT22 temperature humidity sensor, so you know the local temperature and humidity, and you supply with your client with this information. Or else you can do other thing, like you just can go back to weatherstack.com and ask for the temperature and humidity, and then relay it to your client. So there are the two ways. You can try this DHT22 sensors. So you know the local temperature and humidity. So in my my tutorial I will show you how you can like ask a different server for the information and then relay back this information to your client. So to run as a server, you need a certain packages, Python packages. So I will show you how that is to be done. So in my Raspberry Pi folder I have created this two server codes. So let us open the easier one, which is only a hello client. So whenever someone access this server, these servers will serve with just a simple text, not an HTML. not an JSON, just a simple text hello client. Okay, so to run as a server you need a new package that is called Flask. Okay, so you try to import Flask. So normally Flask is a Python framework for website developments, okay, web page development. So normally Flask come installed with Raspberry Pi OS. So if you don't have this, then again the same command, go to CLI and sudo pip install Flask. Okay, so once that is done, so then you come back here, you import Flask, and you don't import the whole package, you import just one function, that is Flask. Okay, then you create a app which is an object of this class actually. So and it is called Flask name. Okay, so we will be using as a parameter the by default name. Okay, then you define app route, means if someone is asking for the root folder, so this slash only slash means it is the client is asking for the root folder, so client will only type the IP address and nothing more. But you can like send the client to a different route by like adding location. So in our last code we did a location for Mumbai. So if he is asking for Mumbai location, he can type like this slash Mumbai. Okay, or he is looking for Delhi, then he can type slash Delhi. So that we can do. So with this we can supply him with different location, temperature and humidity. So once this route is done, so if we define a function called hello, so this will actually return hello client. So this will be returned whenever any client access this route, this root route. Okay, so and then app.run, if someone is accessing this app.run, so we are running our server as a host. The host IP is 0000, which is actually the local host, and we are running on port number 80. So for any HTTP request, HTTP port 80 is the default port, and debug true means it will create some logs that you can check to find any error. Okay, so this is our program, and what you need to do, you cannot run it here just like this. So if I run it here, it will show me some error, because it needs because you are running a server, you need a super user permission, but I am running as Pi, so Pi by default is not a super user or a root user, so we need root user permission. So how you can run it? Yeah, you found it right. So you go to this folder, okay, in your command line interface, home /pi/server. Let me copy it from here. Sorry. So I go to my CLI, okay, and then I want to change to this change disk to, sorry, I paste that path, paste, and I am into now server. Now I can run that. So you need to run as a super user. So sudo python hello-client.py, this is the file name. So once you run it, you can see your server will start running here. So this is your server started running. So now we'll try as clients we will try to now access this server. So say my laptop is a client to this server. So what we can do, we just go here and type out the IP of my Raspberry Pi. The host is running as a localhost 0000, but you don't type here the 000, you type here the IP address of the Raspberry Pi. So the local host will serve as a server. So 192.168.0.105, this is where my Raspberry Pi is running. So you can see it gives me as a return hello client. Okay, so this is a simple text return. So let us now access our server using a mobile phone. So this is my mobile phone on the monitor. So you switch on your Wi-Fi. Okay, so this switch on Wi-Fi in the mobile and get connected to the same router where the server, the Raspberry Pi server is connected. Because if you are using mobile data connection, so it is like a external network, and it doesn't know because of this NAT routing, it doesn't know our Raspberry Pi server's IP address, because we are behind a NAT router. This is the router, so the router is dynamically assigning any IP to us, and so we do not have a public IP in our Raspberry Pi, so the rest of the world cannot access us. So we need to access it within from within our network only. So it is, you can say, a closed LAN local area network. But if you have a a domain name and a DNS server, like something like google.com or something, then you can run your Raspberry Pi server with that domain name, and anyone from rest of the world can access you. Okay, so let us see how this is done. So you start your Wi-Fi route, then let me open the Google Chrome, and then we go to the same IP address 192.168, so 105. So this one, I click that one. So, and if you see here, our Raspberry Pi server is serving us with this text, hello client. Okay, so we are able to access our server. So now let us go ahead and see how we can serve a HTML page and show some useful data in good format to our clients. Okay, so given this situation, if you still want to access your Raspberry Pi from the outside world, you can use two things. One is port forwarding. That setting, it needs to be done in your router, and another is you can use no IP services. There is something called no IP DDNS. You can use such services, so that without a domain name you can access your Raspberry Pi. So that is not the scope of Raspberry Pi tutorial, so it's not included here. So you can use this kind of services.